Hello and welcome to
Watching Twin Peaks for the first time. Yes. Woo. Okay, I'm gonna take off my glasses now because I don't
All
like
right,
the
great.
glare.
Because you don't need
Now
to
I
see.
can't- I don't
Who
need to
needs
see.
vision?
I needed to see more when we were showing pictures
Yes.
all the time.
Oh, yeah. And I'm
Hello.
adding them in post.
Yes. Oh, okay, that's fun.
So I am Wade, and this is my daughter, Mackenzie.
Hello.
We are watching Twin Peaks. Mackenzie's watching it for the very first time, and we are giving her predictions and her interpretation and all that good stuff, and going on hopefully wonderful tangents.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for joining us. We are getting near the end of Twin Peaks: The Return.
We're close.
Yes, today we are talking about part 13 and 14.
We got 4 more episodes.
Yes, 4 more episodes. So let's talk about one of the first things that you noticed. I did not.
Oh,
is that the little logo, the Rancho Rosa, the R&R logo?
It's green.
It had the circle part was green.
Yeah, and then the next episode it was black.
In 14 it was black. So do you think is David Lynch doing this for a reason, or is just having fun?
I hope it's just for fun.
Just for fun.
I do think there's probably a little bit of reason behind it. On that episode, we focus on like more goodness. And in the one where it starts with the black logo, we see Sarah do some crazy stuff.
Okay, so the green might be a good sign.
Yeah.
Black might.
Yeah, I don't know. We forgot about our scratchers.
Well, let's go get them.
Okay, we gotta get the scratchers. I'll go get them. You stay here.
Okay.
Tell them your secrets.
Thank you for watching Twin Peaks. It's a show that's got a lot of freaks. There's a guy named Bob, and he took Dale Cooper's job. And if you killed Laura Palmer, Dale Cooper's gonna go get you. He will go into the waiting room, I know, but someone will get him out. His name is Dougie Jones. Dougie Jones.
Nice. All right, so I got
that was all improvised.
That was good. Getting your flexing your muscles.
Kind of. Not my vocal cords, very.
All right, so I've got a dime.
Yes, so let's do this at the end of the episode.
Yes.
So it's a little preview. So last episode we taled. Why did we talk about this?
Because I had a dream.
Well, that's right. You had a dream. So we're being guided.
And this.
Yes, that's right. You had a Twin Peaks dream.
Yeah.
I had a Twin Peaks dream.
Last night. I
dreamt that I and my loved ones, including you.
Yeah.
But I was the target, but my loved ones were potential collateral damage.
Oh no!
Was being hunted down by Wyndham Earl.
That's kind of the lamest one.
I found it quite terrifying.
Well, and it's gonna be terrifying.
I was looking around, going like, I should be able to recognize Wyndham Earl because he's not very good at disguising. But I didn't find. I would get messages from him, and I'd get phone calls saying, "I'm gonna get you guys and your family."
Light.
So it was kind of thrilling. Yeah. It all took place in a hotel.
Yeah.
But not the Great Northern.
And okay, so
you had a dream.
I had a dream, and it was just like scratcher numbers, and then here's the thing. I sat down and ate pie and said nothing, and Dougie Dale was also there, and we just ate pie it felt like 3 hours.
Mm-hmm.
So it was very like Twin Peaks dream when I'm just like eating endless pie.
Wow.
And it was pretty good. I'm not gonna lie.
So how many slices of pie do you think you ate in the dream?
I think like it was an unreasonably small amount of pie. I feel like it was 3 pieces.
Okay, well
it was just like taking my time.
Yes, so we'll scratch these live.
Yes. Oh, okay. And then also predictions. The winning numbers, if this is a winner, they're here, and here.
You remember the places where they were?
I felt like I did last night, so
okay. All right, so speaking of lucky, let's go to the Lucky Insurance Agency. The adorable Casino Gangster Brothers. they come in bearing gifts.
Yeah.
To
the
old,
boxer man.
The boxer man.
Yeah.
And they also get a light up gym.
Yes, for Sunny Jim. And they say in the last episode they were like, you didn't. I was like, why do they have a gym?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, they were like, even at the orphanage we had
something like even orphans have a gym set.
Yeah,
like the orphanage. So so the implication is that maybe these brothers grew up in the orphanage, and
they might not even be brothers.
You don't think that they are biologically brothers.
Yeah.
So and we were talking about how we imagine them growing up at the orphanage together, saying like, someday we're gonna get out of here. And we're gonna start our own casino, and we'll be gangsters. But
and we'll have 3 women help us.
Yeah, we'll have 3 dames dressed up in cocktail waitresses, mixing us drinks, and
they're not sexual.
Doing conga line dances.
Girls are gross.
Yeah.
And we'll stay up late, and then we'll get up at 2.
Yeah, we'll get up at 2:30 every day. We'll eat whatever cereal we want.
Yeah, that's true. One of them's eating corn pops. Yeah, I did want to put that out there.
Yeah, so they're having a good time.
Yeah.
Mr. C's having a kind of a good time when he arrives at the farm.
Yeah.
And gets into an arm wrestling contest. And what happens in this scene?
Oh my goodness. So they're like, Ray's there, and he's like, I just want Ray. And then they're like, no, we're gonna fight you. And then he's like, is this kindergarten? And then they get on the table and they're like, arm wrestle. And the guy's like kind of trying really hard to get him down, and he just kind of stops, and he's like, starting positions. Starting position is more comfortable.
Yeah, this is more comfortable. My arm hurt here.
Yeah, and see, doesn't it hurt?
Even more here. Then he just breaks his arm, punches him in the face, kills him.
I assume.
And then, it looks like his face is scrunched up.
Looks like he's gone.
Yeah. And then Ray is they just like, well, you get him, boss. You know, like they instantly do what they said they were going to do.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, all right, you're our boss.
You're in charge. And what's funny is Mr. C's like, I don't want to be your boss.
Yeah.
Like he has no interest in
need
controlling this gang of thugs. Yeah. He
doesn't care.
The information. And
he travels alone. He doesn't want Audrey's help. Dale doesn't want Audrey's help, and Mr. C doesn't want Thug's help.
That's right. And that's an interesting parallel.
Yeah.
He does want cell phones. He gets cell phones. Mm-hmm. And he's asking about Philip Jeffries.
Yes.
So do you think, is this person that Ray has been talking to?
Is it
and
David
we've heard the voice. Is it, well, David Bowie unfortunately died before making this, but he played the character Philip Jeffries. Mm-hmm. So do you think is it actually Philip Jeffries? Mm-hmm. Is it a Philip Jeffries doppelganger, or is it not Philip Jeffries at all, just somebody saying that they are Philip Jeffries?
I think that it is actually Philip Jeffries.
Actually Philip Jeffries.
I think that up until the point where Dale was bad Dale was supposed to go in the lodge and good Dale was supposed to come out, I think that there was an actual switch where Jeffries got switched too. So I think the guy before was kind of a doppelganger. And the
guy that we see in Fire Walk with Me, you think might be a doppelganger?
No, I think after Fire Walk with Me. I think that's the real one, but Philip Jeffries is actually like the bad one's running around doing stuff. But the real Philip Jeffries was able to come in and be like, hey, do you know who that is? Do you know which one that is, basically? And then he's like, oh no, bing, and he's back in the lodge.
He's asking about in Fire Walk with Me, at least in the missing pieces, mm-hmm. he's sort of asking about the date, mm-hmm. and then he seems to blink out of existence, or back to Buenos Aires, or maybe it's a weird lodge, we don't know. Yeah. So it's interesting to wonder if he's trying to arrive at a time when Dale is the doppelganger.
Yeah.
You know,
I think that's what's happening currently. I think it's real Philip, and that Mr. C was working with the bad Philip, and then basically he's back in the body, and he's like, I gotta get him. Since
the time is all weird, I just thought of this.
Yeah.
I don't know, because we've heard Philip Jeffries and we've seen his schemes through Ray and other things. So it'd be interesting if those schemes and the talking to the doppelganger happen before he arrives in Fire Walk with Me.
Maybe. It's almost been 20 years.
Because it's like things could, So because we know with the the way the waiting room works, things are, and certainly with Laura's message about Dale and the lodge.
And Philip Jeffries doesn't seem to be any older.
Oh,
I assume
when he
because
arrives.
he's been gone for 20 years.
Yeah. Well, that's the funny thing is like Dale Cooper has aged. Yeah. He still looks great.
Yeah.
And maybe we're supposed to sort of to see it as like he hasn't aged. Yeah. But you know, it looks he's around the jowls.
The thing that I'm thinking about is the body of our boy,
Major Briggs.
hasn't aged.
Yeah. And I got the feeling that Philip Jeffries in Fire Walk with Me has not aged.
Yeah.
Let's see.
You know, Gordon looks a little older.
So before Ray dies, he gives the coordinates that are in his pocket, if they are coordinates, right? The numbers or whatever. And he says something about the Dutchmans.
Yeah.
Mr. C says, I know where that is.
And he shoots him, and he's like, gone.
He's like, I don't need you anymore.
Yeah.
And he also has Ray put on the ring. The ring has returned into existence. The funny thing is, like Ray said, he apparently been given instructions.
Yeah.
Shoot, kill Mr. C and put the ring on his finger. Right. But he did not do that because he was very distracted by. And fair enough.
Yeah. Those things were a lot.
Creepy, translucent
and then
people come out of the woods.
Coming out of his body. He's like, hey, what's up?
So he probably thought like this ring is just going to be symbolic for something. Yeah. It's like you put this ring on him because he hated this ring. Yeah. It's like And
but I do think in that sense,
I forgot about the ring.
Laura stopped Bob. I feel like I'm getting confirmation of like the ring stops Bob from transferring power.
Yeah.
So like putting on the ring in the little thing in the train car stopped Bob from getting Laura.
Well, it's I mean, it does seem like from Fire Walk with Me that Leland / Bob once the ring goes on, then you hear Leland scream, "Don't make me do this," and I think that's kind of Leland's side. But Bob's it's can be interpreted.
I thought that was Bob yelling at her like, "Don't put the ring on."
Oh, I don't know.
It is Leland's voice. But
yeah.
Do you think the doppelgang Cooper tells Laura to not put the ring on?
From Fire Walk with Me when it says like don't take the ring?
Don't take the ring.
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know exactly how to process the ring yet. But we do see that Ray, when he's placed the ring on and he's killed, his body appears in the waiting room. And it's interesting that it's his body, right? Yeah. Instead of him being alive.
Yeah.
Right? And so that's interesting because we see Laura, her spirit.
But do you like wake up there?
I don't know.
Do you like, oh, what?
Yeah, because we don't see
like you're trapped
we kind of cut to Laura sitting in Fire Walk with Me, kind of shifts to her sitting there, but we don't see her entrance into the waiting room.
I feel like her entrance was before she even died. That's the weird thing.
Well, because they show the golden ball kind of thing, right? So it seems like she's different.
No, I mean like when the angel shows up and Laura's like, I feel like she's just going to the lodge and then her physical body is dying. So she doesn't have to feel that pain. Does that make sense? Yeah. Like just as like a level for me.
Sort of like this takes some of the pain away from the situation.
Yeah.
So we're still trying to figure out what the ring returns, but you think that it is kind of adding to your assessment.
Yes.
That Laura stops Bob.
Yes.
Ultimately from doing what he wanted to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we're still a little bit unsure what that is. Seems like he wanted to possess her, but in the long-term thing, whatever long-term plans he had, it seems like he stopped. If he had any.
Yeah. I just keep thinking about the explosion. The atom bomb thing.
Well, I'm kind of
and I feel like eventually that like he would be on that path. Like he's like, ooh, you know what sounds good? Destroying a lot of things.
Yeah. I have been since we've been talking about this last few days.
Yeah.
I keep thinking how my interpretation has possibly changed because I've always thought that Bob wanted to abandon the Leland vessel and move
to Laura.
to the Laura vessel. But the more I kind of think about Laura stopping him, based on your interpretation, the more I think of like, what if Bob is going to, like a cancer, grow,
spread,
and so he would still possess Leland, and he'd possess Laura, and he'd move out kind of like a blob, right? And so then from Laura, he could influence more people and move on to them.
Yeah.
So I kind of like the idea that Bob, through whatever atomic explosion that he spewed from, I don't know if he's the bug or whatever, stuff like that, you know. But
is Laura the bug? I've been thinking about that.
That Laura's the bug.
Yeah. Something about me.
That the golden orb lands as an egg, and then crawls out as a bug,
and then goes into Sarah. Because we were talking about like
we're skipping ahead.
I know, but like I was thinking about it.
Yeah. So
is Laura the bug? When they send that little ball, is that a bug?
Is that a bug?
No, dude.
Is Laura
probably
a bug?
Not. I have like a feeling.
Well, what's funny is that
it's like nefarious.
That as weird as Twin Peaks is, and how Twin Peaks asks you and invites you to think out of the box, but we still are.
We have rules.
Well, we're still looking for, like, when we hear the phrase White Lodge, we think that's good, and when we hear the phrase Black Lodge, we think that's bad.
Except I think they're on top of each other.
Black fire and black corn and a gross little bug and
a golden egg with Laura's face on it.
So if we see a golden egg with Laura's face on it, we think that's good. Yeah. And if we see like a scribbled bug head on the ace of spades,
and we see a little guy with little frog
we see a little
legs
potato bug
crawling in.
Like, oh, gross, right?
Yeah.
So it is interesting to look at these images. I mean, obviously we have a value system, and so if there's a character that's murdering another character, then that's going to
hey, that's bad. Black Lodge.
We can't get behind that. That's on the immoral side of things.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we don't know exactly what that bug crawling into the mouth does.
I don't know what that means.
Don't know what it means.
I have another theory about it.
So we'll pause because we need to talk about Sarah later. So putting a pin in that, other things happen. So there's a funny thing back in the world of Dougie Jones.
Yes. Oh my God.
The dazed Dale Cooper is about to be poisoned, but when he goes in to order some pie, or actually just stare at some pie, and the waitress will interpret that as, so many people are nice to Dale
they
Cooper.
really are.
So then he sees some dandruff and he starts to kind of just poke at the dandruff.
Yeah, he's like,
what do you think? And then the admission, the confession comes out. And what do you think of this sequence?
I kind of loved it. Like, he poisoned the coffee, and then Dale's just like, are they stars or are they dandruff? Mm-hmm. And then he's just like so out of it. Or maybe he's so in it. Honestly, I can't tell. That like the guy's like, oh God, Dougie, I'm so sorry. Mm-hmm. And then he goes in and he's like, I'm so sorry, you can never forgive me. And then he's like, Dougie already told me. Yeah. But I'm glad that you came and talked to me because now we can sort this out. If you agree, then we can sort this out. It's like, okay, I'll do anything. I want to change or die.
Yes. I love that phrase. So I want to
change or die.
So Anthony is just sobbing. It's so he's willing to risk his life. He wants to change or die. So there's something that I think is really enchanting about the Dougie Dale.
Yes, I love Dougie.
Because
he's fantastic.
Whether we're kind of interpreting it as either Laura at work, or the Good Lodge, or the fireman that we now know that he's called. Right. We're seeing a lot of the one-armed man that's kind of doing things. But whatever it is, the good team works in an interesting way, maybe a mysterious way, by having Dougie be this empty vessel.
He's just
ready. That people and some people that are doing bad things. Yeah. By him not saying anything, and just they fill it up with their own ideas. Yeah, they're more likely.
Bounce.
Those people are more likely to because they can do different choices, and people around Dale Cooper, the Dougie version of Dale Cooper, are consistently making better choices.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. His wife is seeing like, I find you attractive. Right. She's seeing these good aspects of him.
Yeah. And he's just blank.
Yeah, his boss, the ex-prize fighter, is looking at these, the drawings or whatever. Although I think because of the golden light, there's logical connections. Right. But he's able to kind of see things. And even Anthony, who is kind of a dirtbag, suddenly has empathy
Yeah.
and
is able to.
Wants
Yeah.
to. Yeah.
It's interesting. We talked about parenting and like father like son, and just giving advice in general. I think this is kind of a good outlook on how to give advice. Because every time in Twin Peaks when somebody's like, you should get a job, or you should break up with him, or you should do this, the person doesn't do it.
Yeah.
They have to get there themselves.
Yeah.
And I think Major Briggs actually does this. He's like, yep, you gotta get there. To Bobby. He's like, yeah, you just gotta get there.
Yeah,
it's
like Major Briggs he expresses a vision of what he feels is going to be
hopes.
the end. Oh, almost like a confidence.
Yeah.
That it's going to happen. Not like I hope
Right.
But just of
like, yeah, you'll get there.
I just wanted to tell you this vision that I have.
Right. And so I feel like it's not about like we gotta tell you what's what. It's more about like, yeah, I'll just listen to you.
Everyone feels heard when they're in the presence of Dougie.
They're like, yeah, this guy gets me.
Even though as a viewer, we're sort of thinking,
I feel heard. I like Dougie.
I feel like, why don't you know that he is, oblivious to
But here's the thing, is that Twin Peaks does kind of take on this Dougie representation.
Yes.
Because we just go, let me throw this, let me throw this, let me throw this. When in reality, it could just be like a regular soap opera with some weird twists. But we're like, oh, let me just keep tacking on my own problems I can figure it out emotionally.
So this is a show. I can't think of any other show that is like Dougie, where it's like I'm gonna let you do it. I'm gonna let you talk, and I'm gonna let you do.
Just keep going.
Because I can't imagine. I mean, there's a lot of great shows where I think I'd love to talk about The Good Place with you.
Oh yeah.
Breaking Bad. You can analyze that. So there's a lot of shows worth analysis.
But there's not.
But most of the time they are giving you. You can analyze it, but the director is basically saying, here's a theme to interpret this. You can tell what the message is going to be.
Yeah.
Once you complete the season of the series,
or just the first episode.
And this one we watch it knowing like. He's not going to answer things. David Lynch is just.
We got to find our own answers.
We got to find our own answers.
And we learn about ourselves more than we learn about the show.
Yes, I think so.
I would also like to point out that's the same thing that Dr. Jacoby, his his skills of therapy are actually we're seeing him be a good therapist. I know you don't like his show. But here's the thing. He's like, here's a shovel. It will fix your problems. How? He doesn't say.
Yeah.
He's just like, get yourself out of the mud.
He's basically saying you need to
do this.
This is a golden shovel.
This is a golden shovel.
Dig yourself out of the muck.
Which is,
and
maybe
Nadine's
this is a tool.
Nadine's looking great.
Yeah, Nadine looks fantastic.
We see more of her in this episode than we have before.
Yeah.
She's got her drapes are silent.
The drapes are actually very impressive.
Yes.
I was like, she's using a very similar method that Dr. Jacoby was to use the shovel. I wonder if he got those from her.
I don't know. Yeah.
Maybe not though, because they weren't.
I was glad that he was happy to see. I thought he was like, "What are you doing with my golden shovel on display?" Right? He
really
was like,
"Yeah."
I know he was really happy.
I also liked his last time I saw you was 6 years ago, and you were on the ground looking for a potato. She's like, what?
Yeah.
Which sounds like something I would say to a person I haven't seen in a while.
You'd remember.
And it's like, I saw them last, but I had no interaction with them. So I'd be like, you were at the gas station on Tuesday. And they'd be like, excuse me?
Yeah. I was stalking you. I was just saying that we don't have answers, but we do often have answers in the show. One answer that we received is a minor one, but I kept saying, why is Norma always at the table surrounded by paperwork and an old phone, and she's
one of those Rolodex.
Yeah, and she's got her glasses on, and she's just very, very busy there. And we find out that the R&R has been franchised.
Yeah, good for her. Honestly, very good for her. I don't like that they're like, oh yeah, you got to change this. You got to change this restaurant too. That's not a very good negotiating tool.
Yeah.
Because it's just let her run this. You have successful companies
let
elsewhere.
Those other, keep branching out if you want to, but this is her thing. She's here.
Yeah. And she doesn't want to change the name.
She's not going to change her pie.
She's not going to change the name. She's not going to change her pie. Let her be herself, man.
Yeah, so good for Norma.
I know, she's really sticking up for herself. too.
And we see Ed for the first time.
She sits down, or he sits down with Norma.
He's sitting with Norma, and then he moves when the
He's
business
like,
guy. And do you think Norma is having like a romance with the business guy?
No, I don't think so. I think
Ed is
he was
drinking soup,
angry,
sadly,
at his
kind
gas
of
station.
bitter at the end.
At his gas station, really, from that angle, looked like the convenience
store, which you had wondered about from season 1 and 2.
And it does.
Do you think that Ed is Ed still married to Norma?
No.
Are they still living together, do you think?
They might still be living together, but I don't think they're married.
Okay.
I think they might
not in that kind of marriage. They might cohabit.
Yeah.
So they might be married on paper, or do you think they got a divorce?
Although he has a ring on, doesn't he?
It looked like he had a ring on at the end of the episode.
Although, people put on rings.
Sure.
Dale has a ring.
Yeah.
He's got a little
Sarah
ring.
is watching an old boxing
episode
that is on this kind of weird loop.
They like, and he gets him in the air, just right in the air, and falls to the ground, and the gentleman's asking to see if he's okay. He's got him on the ropes. And then he goes, whoa! Because like he gets up and he hits him. Because the guy thinks that he's down. Yeah. That's the gentleman thinks he's down. The gentleman checks on him, and then he goes bonk.
It goes back to the father-son kind of motif we talked about the last time. This idea of being stuck in a loop. Yeah. Is an interesting motif that's explored. Yeah. So let's talk about Audrey. So what's happening?
Audrey's really looking for a dude. Her lover.
She's looking for Billy.
But, okay, this freaked me out. Yes. When they were like, I don't know what that guy's name is.
He says, his name is Charlie.
Scary.
He says, I don't
like it. I don't like.
Do I have to end your story too?
Do I have to end your story too? And she's like, what?
Yeah.
She's like, she doesn't want to go.
The 2 part is the scary part.
No, I think it's story. I don't know what he means by story. Well, is he a writer? Is he the writer of Twin Peaks? Is that Mark Frost or David Lynch personified in their own story? They're like, I gotta end you too, and he's like, I ended Leland. I ended Jeffries. I ended this. I ended that. Like I was like, I don't like the world breaking of that sentence. Yeah, and it made me uncomfortable. Yeah, I didn't like it. I
think it was supposed to make you uncomfortable.
I didn't like it at all. I liked it in the sense like, what's happening? Yeah. But it was like very jarring. Just that one sentence of like, you're supposed to be going to the roadhouse, and she's like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. He's like, do I have to end your story? And it's like, what?
Yeah, so Audrey, and right before he says that, Audrey's having this existential crisis. Yeah. In fact, Charlie says that's existentialism 101. Yeah. Where she's like, I don't feel like I'm me. I don't feel like who I am. Yeah. And Charlie now seems kind of like
Are they in a lodge? I don't think so, but maybe. Probably not. I'm just thinking like, I don't like that. Like it like, if somebody said that to me on the street, you know what I mean? Like they're like, do I have to end your story too? I'd be like, all right, I'm moving away. Like, I don't know where.
Well, that's interesting.
I guess I'd go to Norway. I don't know.
If somebody said that to me, like a stranger, I would think that they're a little off their rocker, and that they're saying it in a threatening way. Like, I'm going to end your story, mister.
Not like a threat. Like the way he said it.
The way he said it, it implied to me that he is not of this world.
And someone's story.
And is able to, do you know the Twilight Zone episode where the little kid is just like inventing everything? He's got his real family, but he can do whatever he wants.
Yeah,
he sends them out to the cornfield. Yeah. Turns them into like a, Jack in the Box. Corn. Right. Oh my gosh, Twin Peaks and Twilight Zone, the cornfield. Are
they in the same universe?
Is the cornfields made from
Is it another plane?
Well, yeah. So it seems like when he says that, again, he could just be saying that, and we're reading too much into it. Right?
Reading story.
Yeah. But it feels like a meta kind of thing.
Yeah.
Right.
And she also is like really confused by it. Like she's like, "What do you mean?" And that didn't make me feel better.
Well, it's also interesting because so far we've seen Audrey twice now.
3 times.
There was the scene where she argues and they get on the long scene where he gets on the phone with Tina. Yeah. Then there's the one where it's like, should I end your story now? Yeah. And then what's the third one?
Oh, wait. I guess it is only 2.
Yeah.
I felt like there was one in the next episode, too. Maybe not.
Unless we've merged on to the next episode.
I don't know.
Oh, and she says it's like Ghostwood here.
Yeah, it's like Ghostwood here. Is he Ghostwood? Is he a part of Ghostwood?
I don't know.
Is that guy
a ghost rider?
That's pretty good.
And she says, like, what kind of story? Is it the little girl who lived down the lane?
The little girl who, yeah. What kind of story?
Yeah, so there's weird stuff happening.
I don't like the.
And Audrey hasn't been around other characters.
No, we don't know if she's here.
We've just
Maybe
seen him.
She's dead.
Well, we've just seen him with. We've just seen Audrey.
She's the ghost in Ghostwood.
Maybe.
I don't know, dude. Ugh.
We know from they've talked about her. Dr. Hayward talked about her being in a coma.
So
we know that she at least temporarily survived the explosion.
It's impressive that the Audrey that we're seeing doesn't have any scars though, or like disfigurement. You know what I mean? Like that's impressive. So it makes me think if you're gonna be a ghost,
could she still be in the coma?
That's an interesting point.
But I'm trying to remember what Doc Hayward says.
That was when she was in a coma.
It seemed like it was past tense, right?
So she's either dead or alive.
Yeah.
Schrodinger's Audrey.
Yeah, but we could watch the Doc Hayward line again. Yeah. Benjamin Horne and no other character has mentioned Audrey. It's just been Dr.
Nobody's
Hayward.
Mentioned Donna at all.
No.
Donna is gone. Donna's left the earth.
Should I tell you? I'm going to tell you something that it's not about Donna.
Is it about her son, Richard?
No, it's about I think a sister. But let me look it up.
Yes.
Just to make sure.
Okay, I'm going to go to the rest.
Okay, I don't like doing this too much, but every once in a while, it's good to see what the internet says. Making your way in the waiting room takes a really long time. I've been here 25 years after I solved Laura Palmer's crime. Wouldn't you like to get away?
Sometimes you want to go where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came. You want to be where you can see our troubles are all the same. You want to be where everybody knows your name. You want to go where people know people are all the same. You want to go where everybody knows your name.